Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Now, tomorrow, June 15th, is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And this morning, I want to welcome the Director of the Division of Aging, Dr. Hyacinth Blake, to chat with us this morning about how we're going to commemorate this day, what awareness you want to raise exactly, and what exactly is elder abuse. Good morning, Dr. Blake. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Raucus. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. It's a pleasure to be on again.
It's nice to have you back again. Well, you know, every year we have to make sure that we get into the definition so that everybody is on the same page as we go forward. So let's start with what exactly is elder abuse?
Well, the United Nations defines elder abuse or repeated act or lack of appropriate action occurring within any relationship where there is an expectation of trust and it causes harm or distress to an older person. So basically, elder abuse happens when an older person is mistreated by a person or people they should be able to trust. And it could happen once or it can be repeated over time. And of course, one act of elder abuse is one act too many. So this is why we are raising awareness about this unfortunate situation.
Now, how bad is it in Trinidad and Tobago? Do we have many reports of elder abuse happening?
Well, on average, we have about 2,255 cases per year reported to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. However, we know that elder abuse is severely underreported. 1 in 26 incidents are actually reported. So when you multiply that figure by 26, you can just imagine how many persons did not seek assistance. So yes, it is an unfortunate situation, and we during the COVID-19 lockdown, but it has started to rise, and that is cause for concern.
Yeah. Tell me, what is the role of the division in this abuse awareness, or what can you guys do to help, or what have you been doing to help?
Well, it has been multi-pronged. So, of course, public education and awareness, like what TTT has so graciously allowed for in this interview. And we continue to, through our corporate communications and education unit at the Ministry of Social Services, place information on the various social media sites of the ministry, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel with regards to elder abuse. On a more practical, on the ground level, we intervene when cases of elder abuse are reported to the Division of Aging, which can be done anonymously through our OPIC, Older Persons Information Center hotline, and that is 800 OPIC or 800-6742. So basically, do a case intake, do preliminary interviews, and they may do a site visit depending based on the pandemic and other factors. But we usually engage with other stakeholders such as the police or Ministry of Health depending on the location of the abuse.
Now, Dr. Blake, you guys go to people's private homes as well to check out this abuse, or is it only like the elderly homes?
There are times when we do visit the private residences, but that would be a joint team effort with the Domestic Violence Unit, as the current legislation is under their purview to allow for that access to a private residence. So we are careful to retain our actions within the parameters of the law, and so we do engage those entities that have the right to access.
And now, just for clarity, what are the different types of abuse? Like, I know that there's the obvious physical abuse, but you mentioned stuff earlier, you know, about trust, especially. So I kind of want to break down the different types of abuse.
One of the areas of abuse that we want to really draw the public's attention to is financial abuse. And I will mention the others and then get back to that. So financial abuse could refer to embezzlement or fraud, where you try to acquire someone's financial and other assets through nefarious practices, through deception. So in context of older persons, it might take the form of the contractor scam, that contractors hike up their prices and unnecessary items, and that is a form of fraud. You might have the granny scam, where persons might say, listen, I'm a relative, or I heard your relative was in some kind of trouble and we need money urgently to assist with this. And then there are all the different variations of that when it comes to internet use and trying to target persons to disclose financial information and then take advantage of them that way. So that's financial abuse. And for this year's WIAD webinar to inform the public about estate planning and provide financial literacy to combat this. There's also psychological abuse, emotional harm, causing distress, putting persons in being terrorized and afraid about what can possibly happen to them, causing low self-esteem, insults, that sort of thing. And unfortunately, that is more likely to be reported to the Division of Aging, even though the information to the TTP tend to get more reports of that and of the general, in addition to psychological, verbal abuse and so on. There's also the medical abuse, where there's a misappropriation of medical practices to seniors, whereby they might be restricted from getting access to medical care, or they might also be given sedated and that sort of thing when it's not within the requirements for their health and well-being. Right. So those are issues that we seek to address.
All right. Well, you said you wanted to focus on the financial abuse part of things. So I know that you guys have a panel discussion happening. Is it tomorrow it's happening?
Yes, it's happening, and it will be starting at 8:45 a.m. And we're looking to discuss things like safeguarding the senior citizens grant, what persons may know as the old age pension, giving tips for older persons and their nominee. So the director of the Social Welfare Division will be presenting and giving persons advice. We'll also be discussing what happens if you die without a will and benefits of estate planning for older persons. And, we want to see this not as necessarily, sorry about that, not as necessarily a morbid situation, but a matter of preserving one's legacy and ensuring that as we age, as we get older, because we age every day, that we have the means to be able to provide for ourselves and to get the care. All right. And then we'll also look at general estate planning. Garth Thomas from the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago will be presenting with us on that day.
All right, so that sounds like a full day. Tell me, is there a cost involved to be a part of this? Is it free? How do we access it?
It's absolutely free. We encourage persons to register before, so it's still good to register all now so that you can pose your questions to the panelists, and of course, we'll put your questions forward first. But if you feel that you would just want to wait until it goes book, you can also put your questions to us there. All right, so to access the webinar, to register, you can go to www.social.gov.tt, or you can go onto the ministry's various social media pages, #MSDFS on Twitter, go to the Facebook page in the name of the ministry. And those of you who may not feel so comfortable using social media, you can call the Division of Aging at its toll-free hotline at 800-OPIC, that's 6742, and someone can assist you.
Dr. Blake, tell me something. Who is this meant to reach? Who is it targeted toward? Like, is it for the older persons who are being abused? Is it for their children, their grandchildren who might need the information? Who is it for exactly?
All of the above. So it is for all older persons, but as I was saying earlier this week, it is for anybody who has a bank account, a credit union account, some unit trust shares, because once you have to identify beneficiaries, identifying safe people that you would want to entrust with your resources. So I say, don't start all big. Don't give them the house and the land just so. I mean, don't give them access to your bank account. Test people, give them little opportunities to show that they are reliable and they will not misuse your resources, your hard-earned resources.
Okay, I'm curious
all
about
ages, up to 18, I should say.
Say that again, sorry?
I would say it should be maybe from 18 or even the 16. Are very savvy, financially shrewd millennials, so they can join us.
I mean, I think it's never too young. You're never too young to start learning how to organize your financial business. But I'm wondering, though, Doctor, can you maybe give us a little nugget that might come out of the panel discussion? Like, what age should you start organizing things like a will?
Well, definitely you don't want to wait till you retire. As soon as you're identifying your investment, once you are maybe in your middle age, that's when you should really start putting that in place, at least considering it, have a living will. But definitely don't wait until retirement or when, you're getting all your returns. Start early. You can adjust it. I mean, I know that my father, that was something that he would have done, and he would always let us know, listen, this is what's there. Whatever little I have, this is what's there. And so let your children know, let the right people know what is the situation and seek relevant information. Professionals and the experts.
And some of those experts
and
are going
to be helping you with some of that.
I was about to say, some of the experts will be joining us at the panel tomorrow. What time does it start? Remind us, please.
It starts at 8:45, and we plan to not pass 12 noon, so you won't be webbed out. So it's a nice move. You'll hear from the Honorable Minister. She will launch us off. You will also hear from the Permanent Secretary and the panelists that I mentioned. So it is worth participating.
Nice. Well, Dr. Blake, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. The time flies when we're having these conversations. And, we need to, I think one day we need to sit down and do a proper chat about, the details of elder abuse and how we can be more aware so that we can prevent it from happening across the country in general.
Agreed, and thank you so much. I look forward to that, and of course, to also talking about some of the positives that persons are expressing to our seniors. Thank you.
Well, yes, we need to highlight the positives too. We need some more good news in this place, yes? All right, Dr. Blake, thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, estate planning and financial literacy. It's happening tomorrow on Elder Abuse Awareness Day. You can head across to social.gov.tt to get more information or to register to be a part of it. We take a quick break and we come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stick around.